Okay, good evening, everybody. It's been a tough time recording this video. The last 16 that I've done has had either no audio or the worst audio that I've heard on a video in a long time. I've tried everything, external mic, earphones, headphones, everything, and I don't know. Well, it's my first video in a long time, so I guess it comes with the territory, but I will not be discouraged. I will share what I have in my mind today. So let's cut to the chase. We're fast approaching the end of the year. It's already in the ember months, as many of you religious folks like to call it. And many people are usually anxious towards the end of the year, wondering how are they going to approach it, especially financially. And my theory is always the same. Before anything happens, you have to be prepared. And for the end of the year, whether you like it or not, it's going to come, right? Whether you like it or not, the year will end. But the actions that you take now, leading up to then, will determine if you'll be under more pressure or not. So I'm just going to share a few thoughts of mine, and then hopefully you can take it from there and use it to your advantage. So the first thing is, so at the beginning of the year, I told a lot of people to begin to save, put money aside. Even if you don't know why, just do that. Now, generally, the mindset many people have is that when I save money, it's supposed to make me have money to buy anything that I want. Or, as some will say, they will say for the rainy day. Now, the problem with that thinking is that you're going to box yourself and the options that you're supposed to have, right? Now, you must remember that your saving is a buffer that creates options for you. So for example, Christmas comes and I need to buy a goat for my house, for example. Let's say a goat is 400k, right? And I have, say, 250k, 300k in savings for the goat. Now that means that what I'm going to need to complete it will not be so much, right? Which means the pressure is reduced. Now imagine that Christmas comes, which is inevitable, it must come, and I have nothing in savings, and I still need to buy the goat. It means it's either I decide to to pass on the goat and manage chicken or fish or pomo, sorry to say for those who are familiar with that, but if I plan ahead of time, I give myself the opportunity to do something else, which means it enhances the options that I have and gives me the opportunity to decide the outcomes that I want, right? Now, this also means that if you start early to save, for those who have not saved anything for whatever reason, you can start now, because whichever way you look at it, you still have about 4 months to the end of the year, which means that 4 months you can still save something. If your budget for Christmas is 200k, which means that if you start saving maybe 30, 40, 50k now every month, you will be able to meet up rather than spend January's allocation in December, which is what many people do. That's why January is usually like the longest month of the year, especially for salary earners, because December takes everything, right? And then school fees in January, and dirty December, as some people will put it, has emptied the pocket. And then in December, you're looking at the days running into 40, 50, 60 days in January. And you're wondering, when is January going to end? And when is the next salary going to come? That's very interesting. But I will say that if you begin to save now, you give yourself options by then. And also something I've observed in the past years is that there are usually more investment opportunities in December, because many people are trying to offload their investments to cash out and have money for the festivities, right? Which means there are going to be opportunities. In fact, the last few bear markets are usually bottomed in November, December in the last few years, in the last few cycles. So what that means is that there are going to be opportunities for you to get good deals. Now, that's one of the things your savings will do for you, because it will also give you the opportunity to take advantage of, opportunities that come. Sometimes it can be to take a course at a ridiculous discount, for example. That's an opportunity, right? It can be to buy something, maybe a distressed sale, that comes to you, but because you don't have cash, you pass it to the next person. Now, most of the time, being poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly, which means opportunities usually come to you, but you don't have capacity, so you always push it to somebody else. Now, the danger in that is that you will realize that those people you keep pushing those opportunities to will have, when they take those opportunities, they will have change in conditions of their lives. And then when they come and share their testimony, you'll be one of the first people to type God when. Meanwhile, God is there wondering, but I brought this to you first. What did you do with it? And this is why it's important for you to understand that your savings is also creating a buffer for you to be able to, of course, save you in time of need, because when anything happens, maybe you lose your source of income, your savings is supposed to be like the buffer to protect you from, slipping into trouble. Because many people, if they lose their income today, they're going to go through a very rough patch. But your savings is supposed to save you from that, right? And I was saying in the past videos that I recorded before I discovered they had no audio, December is not a do or die thing, right? I know we are all stuck up on the festivities. Oh, I have to buy this, I have to do that. Let me tell you the truth. You're not going to die if you don't do it this year, right? If you decide, okay, I don't have money to kill a goat, maybe I will manage a half chicken or half carton of fish or something a lot cheaper than a goat or whatever it is. The extra resource you will extract from that can be allocated to something else. It can be used to invest into yourself, into your family, and the opportunities are endless. And that's why you must think in terms of first creating the buffer so that you have something to use, and then when you have created that buffer, you don't waste it on festivities. I'm not saying you should not have dirty December. I'm not saying you should not have fun at Christmas and enjoy yourself and all of that. But I'm saying that you can control how it impacts on your finances, because many times December is the problem for most people. Every time December comes, by January they're in a very difficult place. In fact, they start every new year in red. The only way to avoid that is by first deciding that this Christmas I am not doing more than myself. I'm going to live within what is available after you have made savings and all of that. And I assure you, you're not going to die. I observed that in Nigeria, prices of things have gone through the roof, but everybody is still surviving. Income did not increase. So how is that possible? It's the human ability to adapt. And that means that if you don't do all the festivities, you're not going to die. So save that money, invest it in yourself, give yourself a head start for the new year. And I can assure you, you have a lot to be grateful for in the new year. Thank you for listening to my rant. Catch you some other time. Thank you.